morning, guys. Luke here of SimBoxx, and I'm delighted to be joined by the new key bomb, Brad Pauls. Brad, how we doing?
All good, mate. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. This is an interview that I've been chasing down for a little while now, and even when I was having my downtime with SimBoxx, it was on the bucket list to be like, you know what, Brad Pauls, he's got a great story, he's had some great fights, and I'm delighted to have you on the channel tonight.
Nah, thanks for having me, mate. Yeah, it's good. Good to be on.
So, okay, I can see a couple of Nick's, couple of marks there. So we're heavy in camp ahead of the big fight on January 24th. Shakiel Thompson
Yep.
is the opponent. How excited are we for this fight, Brad?
Massively, yeah. I like fights where I've got loads to gain. Massive opportunity. There's two belts on the line, world ranking, European title. Um, and just yeah, massive, massive cards. And I love these Magnificent Seven shows. Been on them before. Um, and yeah, really excited for it. I think the styles will gel well. I think it's going to be a good fight. Very confident, and yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely, it promises to be one of the fights of the night on a card, as you say there, which is a fantastic card. It just looks like you and Shaquille can only produce fireworks. Speaking of Shaquille Thompson, he's equally as confident as you, and he's come out and I've read a couple of quotes, a couple of things in the press that he thinks he's just better than you in every department. The only thing that you've got on him is experience. What would you
Mm.
say back to that?
Um, Yeah, I suppose he's going to be confident. He's up and coming. He's got the belts. He's undefeated. He's won his last five by stoppage. But he is right. I do have him on experience. I've sort of been there and done it a little bit more than him. And yeah, I think it's going to gel really well. I feel it sort of suits me down to the ground a little bit, where all the pressure's on Shaquille. He's got all the belts. He's recently been signed. They've got me here, so he looks good, and it'd be a massive shame if he doesn't. So it's a great position to be in for myself. Loads to gain and nothing to lose. So yeah, much prefer this style.
Absolutely, it's a great position to be in, as you say. Are you the type of fighter, Brad, that will go and watch your opponent? Will you do your research, your homework, or do you kind of prepare to be the best version of yourself on the night, and everything else takes care of itself? You leave that to your coach and your team to do the research and the homework.
Yeah, leave it to my coach. I've never watched Shaquille Thompson fight. Obviously, highlights pop up on social media. I think you can overthink it. I think you can overcook it a little bit. I think leave it to your coach. He's the man you're trusting with your career, so he'll come up with a game plan and little things you can do and this and that. And I don't feel like watching it too much helps you in the end, really, because the way he boxes these other guys, he ain't going to box you that same way. I don't box like these other guys. He ain't box anyone like me. So yeah, just cracked on, just grafted my ass off this camp, and I'm just buzzing for it.
You mentioned there that you grafted very hard over this camp. You're very experienced at this point of your career. Been there, done that, won the titles, got the bruises to show for it. I was training over the festive period at this point of your career, using that experience, not giving in to temptation, seeing all your family and friends and whatnot, celebrating over the festive period. Was it difficult for you?
Yeah, it was a little bit more difficult. It was just different. I haven't done it before. The work continued, the discipline was the same, and it was just a new problem to solve. It's another sacrifice. Charge it to the game. I've done plenty in my life. Went back home for I think 3 or 4 days, trained every day, and nothing changes really. I was just back in the gym in no time and fit as a fiddle. So yeah, it all went well and spot on.
Good man. Now, Frank Warren's come out and said that the winner of this fight is in line for a big title fight. You mentioned that there is a couple of ranking belts on the line in this fight, but he's saying there's a big title on the line. Are you any wiser than us on what that big fight could be?
Not a clue, not a clue to be honest. I'm guessing with these sort of belts, it could be obviously going to be sixth in the world to be either a world title shot. I'm not sure who the IBF world champion is. I'm not sure if is it Lara.
I think IBF is it Yannick or is he WBO? I'm not sure if
I don't
he's got
know,
a
but
couple.
another
Yeah,
one of them's WBO, so it'll be one of those. But then I think a British title shot off the back of this win is very much an option as well. So the winner's going to have a massive fight. It's just which one. So yeah, like I said, loads to gain, and that's what gets you motivated.
of course. Though we use this term experience, and Shaquille says that you've got the experience on him. But from your point of view, as the experienced fighter, you've got the wins and the fights with Nathan Heaney, Denzel Bentley, and Tyler Denner, and other fighters.
Hmm.
What does that experience mean when it comes to fight night, Brad? In your thoughts and your words?
For me, it's just a bit more composure, everything's a bit more familiar. Like I remember the first time I boxed on TV fighting Tyler Denny, and it was a little bit of a shock to the system. It took a little bit of getting used to for myself, coming from small hall. It just took a while to get used to it, and then now not boxing on TV doesn't feel so familiar. Like it, I had a bit of a crash course in 2024 with three main events on TV, so it's all a bit more familiar, and I think it just helps your performance. I feel like you use that energy for good, the atmosphere, and yeah, I've sort of done the rounds, and I've been in the trenches a little bit and had the tough fights, and I've fractured my eye sockets and got back up and dogged it out and finished the fight. And I think these little percentages help you when you go back to them places where I've been there and done it. It will help going forward.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of the potential of a British title being on the line, or even a world title after this, you have come up the traditional route, if you like, with southern area titles, going into English titles, British titles. Is that something you always wanted to do, that you kind of wanted to tick each box as you went off? You didn't want to skip up the levels, maybe?
Sorry about that. Yeah. When I turned pro, I think from understanding boxing, I feel like the traditional route is the best route because if you know boxing, you know that you're not getting too many easy touches for any of these titles. And sometimes in boxing, you can have easier touches for random belts that are sort of on the side. But with especially the British, you're not getting an easy touch for a British. So, yeah, that was always my goal was the Southern area, English and British. I'd done it, and then you just move the goalposts and just go for more. So.
Absolutely. I think it's something that's come back into the limelight this week, hasn't it? With the on the back of Dalton Smith's winning that WBC super lightweight title, and then they made no secret of, look, this is what we've won in the order that we won it in. It's
Mm.
something that's overlooked sometimes. A lot of is made of Conor Benn not winning any kind of title, and now he's up at that world scene. It's experience, as you say there, that you can't buy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And people want to see you, especially in the UK, people want to see you tested against other domestic because you really got to prove your best in the country. And with these belts, you have to prove it because you have to fight top five, top 10, all the way through, English up. So, yeah, it adds credibility, these belts all the way through. And as a fighter, if I was training someone else, I'd want them to have the exact same route because the experience adds up and prepares you for what's coming. Because going from a British to a world title isn't that massive of a jump because of what it takes to get there, I don't think.
Interesting. Now, it might sound like a bit of a weird question because the British title is so prestigious. It's the one that every British fighter wants to win. But of the titles that you've won, is the one that is like a personal favorite? Like I said, the British is the most prestigious, but is the one where you held that title and went, you know what? I really, really love that win.
Um, I would say the British just because of how it unfolded and having the draw and it being controversial. Then I suppose winning the English because I didn't win it in my first attempt, and I was on the back foot a little bit. I'd lost to Tyler Denny, had come back and got a small hall win, and it was like now or never. Like you have to win this fight or else you're done. I remember my manager saying that at the time, and I was like, "Boy, pressure's on," and I was like reinstates what you always believed was after because I had my first loss previously and it sort of reinstated it. So it was a great feeling. And yeah, same with the British and all the belts um, that I've won yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. I wish I could bottle up and sell it.
Now, obviously, your old nemesis, Nathan Heaney, is on this card as well. He's in a good fight with Jerome Warburton. Talk to me about those two fights. Like you said, a controversial draw the first time around, then to go back in with him and rubber stamp it with a great stoppage. Just talk to me about
Mm.
those two fights and how proud you are looking back on them.
Yeah, highlight my career. The first fight was also new still, especially boxing in front of the Stoke
Yeah.
guys. There's a lot of them. Was outnumbered massively, and I think at the time I was ranked like 14th, and they'd obviously picked me as an easier touch for a defense for Nathan. And I remember thinking they're writing me off, and they shouldn't be. Like I think they've made a mistake here. Um, and then yeah, I I feel like I should have won, but I got a draw, and I can't complain because I got another chance. So yeah, and it just sort of built into the big one in the summer, and I got the stoppage in the 12th, and it's conclusive, and there's no debate, and it's definite, and Yeah, it was the highlight of my career, and I just want more of that. That was the best.
Absolutely. That's going to lead on to a question I'll ask in a second. But just to pick up on something there, that in the first fight you was the challenger and you got a draw. Now, weirdly, for a champion, if they get a draw, it can almost feel like a win because they retain the title. For
Mm.
a challenger, it feels like a loss because you've not won the belt, but you've not actually lost the fight.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird analogy, really. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I remember I went back to the change room and I was like, I don't feel beat. Like I
Yeah.
don't feel like I've been beaten, but I've got no belt here. So I was like, it's a sort of dud situation. I ain't been beat, but got nothing to show for it. So yeah, it was a really strange one. And yeah, by popular demand, they sort of forced the rematch. I'm not sure Nathan was rushing for it, but um, Frank Warren wanted it, and a lot of the fans wanted it. So yeah, I was happy they did it again.
What's your relationship like with Nathan after that? He kind of going to be cordial. You come across him in the fight week festivities, if you like. You cool with Nathan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny. I went to the press conference in Manchester, and I was waiting at the train station, and the driver was like, "Oh, we're just waiting for one more guy, this Nathan guy." And I was like, look to my coach, like, they ain't put Nathan in the same taxi as us, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Nathan Heaney." I was like, "Fuck." And then we spoke to him in the taxi. Like, I like Nath. He's a good lad. It's not personal. I don't dislike him or anything, and he's done well for himself. And you got to respect it. And he's kept going, and he's got a tough fight. So yeah, no hard feelings. And if he wanted a trilogy, and we both win in a couple of weeks, no problem.
Interesting. We look forward to that. Now, the question that I was going to get onto there is the desire to win it again. That you've been there, you've tasted the glory. What fuels that desire to go and do it again?
Um, I suppose because I feel in my prime, like I owe it to myself. Like I've made it this far, and I need to get everything out of it that I can. And um, it's just moving the goalpost. It's like anything in life. You go and achieve the thing you want, and then it's the next thing. It's a never-ending process because you'll find something else you want to do. And it's the same in boxing. And I'm physically in my peak, and I've got loads more to offer. And I just want more belts, more legacy. So when I knock it on the head in a few years, I did my best, got everything I could out of it, and can sail off into the sunset.
Amazing, amazing to hear. Talk to me about fluctuating between these big shows and going back to the small hall. You didn't have a very active 2025. What's going on in the mindset of Brad Pauls at that point? Like you say, you're going for these opportunities, you're getting the belts, you're losing them, and you're not really given a comeback fight, if you like, another opportunity to show yourself on the big stages. How does that affect you mentally?
It's not ideal to be honest, and that's I understand it's the politics of boxing sometimes, which is not ideal. I was contracted a comeback fight after the Bentley loss, and they just wouldn't even reply for 6 months. And I was contracted for 6 months, and I was like, please just let me fight elsewhere or do something, and they just wouldn't even reply. So I was stuck for 6 months, unfortunately, and that's what happens. And then as soon as it was over, I had my comeback. I had an 8 rounder, got a win, and then still nothing, still nothing. Was waiting for an opportunity, and then I was like, right. I'll go do small hall again because I can't do nothing. I can't just do nothing. Have to do something. Got right close to the fight. I had a death in the family. Fell through. Not ideal. I was like, right, okay, push it back to November. Preparing about 10 days out, ready to go again. Got the contract for Shaquille, and I was like, it's too risky to fight that close to a big fight. So I knocked that one on the head as well. So I've trained all of last year and then just non-stop, but I just don't have the fights to show for it. I live the life, don't drink, and just kept myself in the gym, waiting for an opportunity, and then somehow landed on my feet, and here I am with a massive fight.
Of course, like you say, a massive fight, but is it difficult not to be, for the want of a better word, not to be bitter? Like you say, you was hoping for that comeback fight under Queensbury. It didn't deliver, but now you're fighting on the Queensbury show again. So is it easy to be able to put those ill feelings to the side and be appreciative of the opportunity that you've been given, or is there still kind
Yeah.
of like a bit of resentment there, maybe?
Um, Good question. I think you've just got to take what you can get, and I'm not in a position to bite the hand that feeds me. And I understand that's just boxing sometimes. And boxing's strange. Like it doesn't always make sense. Like I've been sparring in Peacock where Bentley trains.
Mhm.
He ain't fought since. And I was like, I'll say to her, I was like, you beat me. I was like, you was promised a world title shot, and you've stayed out of the ring longer than I have. and that's just boxing sometimes. So I never take it too personal. But yeah, was it frustrating? Did I waste a bit of time in my career for no reason? Yeah. Um, am I gonna refuse to work with these people? No, I'll happily take their money and take the fight. So
It's quite a weird one with the middleweight division at the minute because it kind of stagnates at the domestic scene, like yourself, not getting that opportunity. Denzel gets the win, doesn't get his opportunity. But even on the world scene with like Alexander Lary and Janibek and the other champions, nothing seems to be going on at the 160-pound division, which has been a flagship division historically for boxing on the domestic and on the world scene. It seems to be a bit stuck in the mud.
yeah, um, yeah, it's a weird one, ain't it? I think there's a good amount of domestic middleweights that are coming through, and it's going to be really good. But yeah, on the world scene, not really sure to be honest. Obviously, Janibek failed a drugs test, so he's I don't know how what is he stripped or he's put on the side, he's banned, or I don't know if he
I
still has
guess
the
between
belt.
us, we could be here until midnight trying to guess what's going to go on there.
It's funny boxing, it? It's a funny one. Um, but yeah, so he's not up to much. I don't know how often Lara fights or if he's fighting. Um, and yeah, it's stagnated, but it's one of the best divisions middleweights. It's busy. You get knockouts at middleweight, you get a high work rate, um, and it's a bit of a shame it's a bit stagnant. But I think domestically it's quite deep. The division you got Sains, you got Liddards, um, loads. You got absolutely loads. So it's yeah, it's interesting.
Was you impressed with George Liddard's win over Kieran Conway in the manner in which it came about?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was ringside watching that. I got tickets to that one, and I've sparred both. And yeah, I did think Conway would do a little bit better. I think he was sort of dead at the weight, and because I spoke to him after. Um, but yeah, Liddard's up and coming. He's got my old belt. He's done everything that's asked of him, and I think that'll be a good fight for the future.
Definitely, and I think with speaking about promoters, it looks like you're more aligned with Queensberry than Matchroom. I think it's safe to say. But
Hmm.
with the way it is with the zone nowadays, that Queensberry and Matchroom can work together. That if you do go and get the win over Shaquille Thompson, that it shouldn't be too difficult of a fight to make now with the relationship that's going on there. That if you was to go on and fight George Liddard, obviously we're not looking past your next fight, but the
Yeah.
potential's there nowadays. Whereas 4, 5, 6 years ago, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's it. It's all sort of opened up with the zone and both the promoters joining the same platform. I think maybe a little bit of the Saudi situation helped build the relationships. Um, so yeah, and that's what you want. That's best for boxing, all the best fighting the best. And yeah, win my next fight and anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Definitely, like we mentioned at the start there, that we could see a couple of nicks, a couple of bruises that you've been sparring, and I've seen that you've been in with Carl and Ben Fale, a couple
Yeah.
of cracking characters and
Yeah.
some cracking fighters as well. It's got to be said. Talk to me about the sparring session with those guys, and I'm sure it's the kind of one as boxing fans we'd love to be a fly on the wall and watch.
Yeah, yeah, it's perfect because it's a niche demographic to get 6'2" plus southpaw sparring partners that are on my weight. It's a very niche. But then you get two brothers that fit that category, which is mental. Both lovely lads. Yeah, they're spot on and give me lots and lots of rounds the last couple of weeks. I've got a few more to go. And it's hard sparring, and that's exactly what you want. You want the sparring as hard as possible. Been splitting the rounds up between them both, and they've been working me, and it's been just perfect prep. So yeah, interesting, but yeah, great lads, and yeah,
Fantastic, good to hear. Just to bring it back round full circle, Brad, before we close out, I've been putting boxes on the spot in these first few interviews that I've done in the new year and asking for 2 or 3 fights as a fan of boxing that you'd love to see in 2026.
good question. Just bear with me, bear with me. Good fights I'd want to see. Okay, first one is I'm going to say his name wrong. Um, Inoue against Bam Rodriguez. Intrigues me. I don't know if they're exactly the same weight, but they can sort it. So that's my first one. Um, I think David Benavidez versus Bivol is mental. Just a mental fight. Just intrigues me how that's going to pan out because he just doesn't stop coming at you, Benavidez. But then, yeah, just intrigues me. Uh, my final one. I really like watching that Caballero because you don't get many heavyweights that walk forward like that and land body shots, and I really enjoy watching it. So I'd say Caballero versus Random one. Derek Chisora. I think that would be a tasty little fight. That I'd enjoy that one.
And they're just going to meet in the middle of the ring, aren't they? And
You know
so it'd
what's
be
gonna,
like
yeah, you
rock
know
and
what's
sock
gonna,
and robots. That.
yeah, you know it's gonna be entertaining. That one, love that.
You know what? With matchups like those two there, we should be having Brad Paul's promotions coming when you hang up the gloves. You know, if you're putting fights like that together,
Yeah, I just need a bit of Saudi money and I'll be sweet. Smashed it any fight I want when you got Saudi money.
you know, just on a quick one, did you hear the atmosphere that Ajit Kabayel fight at weekend? Those German fans were nuts.
Insane, yeah, insane. Look great, doesn't it? Suppose they've been starved for boxing for so long, they're dying for it now. Wouldn't mind jumping on one of them shows, would you? Even if you was the away fighter, it'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Let's bring it back full circle anyway, Brad. Um, January 24th, it goes down yourself and Shaquille O'Neal. Big fight, big card, big show. How does it play out in your mind eye?
Tough fight. It's not going to be plain sailing. I'm going to have my tough patches in the fight, but I think I'll pull through any means necessary. I'll get the win, whatever it takes. You won't see me quit. Everything I've got, every single time I fight. That's what I can promise you, and I believe it's enough to get me to win January 24th. Let's go.
Couldn't have sold it any better. We really do look forward to the fight, to the show. I appreciate your time tonight, Brad. I wish you the best of luck come January 24th. Thanks for speaking to SimBoxx tonight.
Nice one, Luke. Appreciate it, mate. Cheers, brother.